Hi everyone and welcome to Caravel Gaming. I'm Boomer and today I'm going to be continuing my Sliver run. So let's get started with the campaign.
Ramaz gave me a pendant from a plane called Innistrad. The mark on it symbolizes some militant order there. If you can track down its owner, maybe they'll know something about Ramaz. Careful though, nothing's more dangerous than armed zealots.
I'm pretty sure there's probably a few things that are more dangerous than armed zealots, but Chandra obviously doesn't feel that way. Incidentally, this weather looks exactly like the UK at the moment. It's miserable. As you can see, I've already beaten the campaign on multiple occasions, but we will go through. And we're going to start off against Moorland Zombies. And yep, we're going to be running the Sliver Hive deck. So let's go. Apparently I've chosen the Annihilator for my thing, and here we have the exact problem I was kind of talking about. I can't cast anything in my hand. Fortunately, Duels 2014 gives you a free mulligan, so we're going to do that. And this is a much better hand. I've got Shock. I also have 2 Predatory Slivers, which is going to mean I'm going to put down a lot of power quite quickly. If I can draw planes, this is going to be really good. I'm also on the play here, so I'm going to keep this hand. I'm going to lay the Mountain first and see if my opponent wants to make a guy on turn 1. If he does, I'll probably just Shock it. And our opponent makes a Diagraph Ghoul. It's 2/2 for 1. When it comes into play, it enters the battlefield tapped. So pretty powerful card he's led with there, but during his end phase I'm just going to hit stop timer and I'm going to shock his Diagraph Ghoul. Just going to try and get a little bit ahead on tempo. A zombie deck is going to be quite fast as well as Sliver deck, but if I can get 2 Predatory Slivers down before he can get a couple of guys, that's going to make his life a little bit more difficult. I drew a forest there, which isn't really optimal, but if I can draw planes here, I'm going to have a massive army swinging in very quickly. He makes a Walking Corpse, which is a 2-mana 2/2, so otherwise known as a Grizzly Bear. Terramorphic Expanse is perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the second Predatory Sliver. So as you can see there, they affect each other. I'm going to make the Terramorphic Expanse, and in order so that I don't misclick or do anything stupid, I'm actually going to activate the ability now. Usually I'd activate it at end of turn to avoid giving information to my opponent, but I think misclick equity is actually more important in this game, and I'm going to attack with my 3/3 because he can't block it. And next turn he's going to be facing an absolute world of pain when I drop Bone-Sized Slither. In fact, this would be a perfect opportunity. Depending on what he did this turn, I would actually like I would be tempted to cast Armageddon at this point, but sure. Cultivate, not really optimal, but we're going to go with what brung us here, and we're going to make Bone-Sized Sliver. And as you can see, the synergies happening here. My army at this point is just getting up to unmanageable levels. This attack is for 12 this early in the game. So that's first strike damage. And now they're both going to deal normal damage as well. So pretty horrendous here, and he's staring down the barrel of 20 coming in next turn. This attack's going to be for. Yeah, that's not going to help you too much. See what he picks up. My guess is the Diagraph Ghoul. Yep. And he does have one guy in the way, but it's not really relevant. One thing you might want to is that when you hover over a spell you can press Control and it'll highlight the lands that are going to be used to cast it. So let's cast the Cultivate, and say I want a mountain and a forest. So Slay the Forest, and I'm going to Path to Exile this 2-2 just so that we can get in for absolute max damage. It's always important to troll the computer when you can. And that's going to be game 1. Synergy at work there. So okay, let's move on to the next match in the campaign, and that's going to be against Innistrad cultists. And I think this will be the first instance of a stacked deck that we're playing against. I'm pretty sure the deck that we're up against here is just completely stacked. It basically hits 4 lands, makes Innistrad High Priest for the entire game until it gets 6 and sacks them for the demon. Again, going to take the free mulligan here. I don't really want to risk not being able to play anything, even though Fiery Justice is amazing against this deck. So let's draw a new hand. Ugh. Not good. I'm actually going to mull to 6 here. And we've got all 3 colours of mana and 2 Fiery Justices, so this is pretty much an auto win. As you can see, this is pretty much what this deck is about, Shadowborn Apostle. You can have any number of cards named Shadowborn Apostle in your deck. The normal 4 of in a deck rule doesn't apply. And you can sacrifice 6 creatures named Shadowborn Apostle and get a demon from your library and put it onto the battlefield. In this case, I believe it's Shadowborn Demon that Innistrad Cultist gets, which is I believe a 5/6 for 5 that destroys a creature when it comes into play, and you have to sacrifice a creature during your upkeep to keep it in play. So I'm going to make a mountain here and pass the turn. Again, nothing in this deck's double costed, so it's not really going to be too much of a problem. I also believe this is the deck that Ribbo managed to draw 12 land against, or it might have been this deck. It might have been another one where he managed to draw 12 land, 3 spells. And as you can see, the deck's just making Shadowborn Apostles. So what's important is that I get to have Fiery Justice open on turn 3. I could Path to Exile one of them here, but that would just give him more mana, so I really don't want to be doing that. I'm going to lay a forest, and I'm going to say go. Actually, that was a mistake. I should have laid a plains here. The only reason I didn't lay a plains is that I know what's coming. Against a normal opponent, you really should be laying the plains here so that you've got access to Path to Exile. So I just was a bit lazy there because I actually know what's coming. Yep, keep them coming. Remember, he needs 6 of them in play. Okay, so there are 5 of them in play. And funnily enough, Fiery Justice does 5 damage. So 2, 3, 4... and 5. And yeah, you may gain 5 life from this. It's irrelevant. Bye bye. Also mention the fact I've got 2 bone-sized slivers in my hand, which pretty much means that there's nothing that my opponent can do with his 1/1 minions to stop me here. And also with the other Fiery Justice in my hand, this is going to be over pretty quickly. Choices. Do I make the Predatory Sliver first, or do I make the Bone-Sized Sliver first? I actually make Bone-Sized Sliver first. Reason for that being that the Predatory Sliver will pump the Bone-Side to 3/3, so therefore I'll do more damage. No point in making the second Bone-Sized Sliver, obviously, unless I just want another dude on the table. Yep, keep making your Apostles. Oh, that's a really good draw there. Right. Okay, let's just make sure we don't tap our white mana because we're going to want that. Predatory Sliver in. Let's continue and attack with the Bonsai Sliver. See if he chump blocks. Nope, he doesn't. It still feels like it's possible for him to win this, apparently. And he just takes 6. But yeah, double strike's a ridiculous ability. And I'm going to be putting in what's essentially 8 power of guys with this Hive Stirring. Yep, another Shadowborn Apostle. I think the deck's stacked to only have 4 land in it, so therefore it only has the... so therefore it can't cast its demon, it has to use its Shadowborn Apostles. Now, Blur Sliver basically gives me pretty much the game next turn, because Hive Stirring's just gonna come in with haste. So I'm gonna cast that first and leaving up Path to Exile in case I need it. I'm just gonna smash in with all my guys. I think he has to chump block. Yep. So he's chumping, he's gonna take 4. 2 more Apostles in the bin. He can attack for 1 if he wants. There's not really much point. Yep, another Shadowborn Apostle. Oh, stop. Did I get it? Yes, I did, just. In fact, now we're at the end of the turn, I'm actually going to kill one of his guys, just because there's else. And as you can see, he hasn't found another land, so his deck does only have 4 land in it, so it is stacked. Oh, Survival of the Fittest, so pretty. But, you know, I think the idea at this point is just to win the game. And that should probably do it. Yeah, so he takes 6, 10, 14. Oh, he's on 1. Okay. No, he's definitely... No, he is dead. I just can't do maths. 18, yeah. Okay, so he's dead. So, let's move on to the next dude. And that is Angry Mob. Your strange appearance causes people to follow and gather. You show the pendant to an elder in the hopes of allaying suspicion. Your hopes are dashed when he screams, "Thief!" Oh well. For those of you who might be as old as me, Angry Mob was a creature in the olden days, and it was a 4-mana 2/2 with trample. I think it gained 1 attack for each. It was either mountain or swamp your opponent controlled. It was a pile of crap, really, but yeah, we've got Predatory Sliver into Hive Stirring, so yeah, we're going to keep this. Let's make a forest first. It's very rare I'd play Path to Exile on turn 1 anyway. Okay, we've got a red base deck here. Human Warriors. When it becomes blocked by a creature, it deals 1 damage to that creature. Well, I guess we won't be blocking it much then. Not going to lay Terramorphic yet. That'll probably be my 4th land, because it'd interrupt my tempo a bit too much. Well, let's just make the 2/2 and pass the turn. I did. Now at the moment is probably to go Hive Stirrings into Terramorphic into top deck. And he is attacking. Interesting. That would kill my Predatory Sliver in combat, so I'm going to not block. And he makes Unruly Mob. Whenever another creature he controls dies, put a counter on it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to make the forest, and we're going to make Hive Stirrings and pass the turn. Actually, we're not going to pass the turn because I wouldn't block with the Predatory Sliver anyway, so we might as well nip in for 2. One thing that is important, especially for guys who are new to Magic, always get in damage while you can, because it will actually make a pretty big difference later in the game. Is he going to come in? Yes, he is. So my options here are lose a 2/2 and he gets a counter anyway. I'll just take one. I'm going to take one. Don't really see the point in trading off my guy there when I've got a far superior force on the board. Okay, so he's definitely in the make a load of small schmoes plan. Oh, that is a beating. It does mean this Terramorphic Expanse is really putting my tempo off a little bit here, but I really don't care, because that is just going to pretty much end this game, I think. And yep, I'm just going to smash him with everything, because why not? He can't block profitably on any of them. My guess is he's going to block with his two little chumps so that he can have a bigger unruly mob, which is fine because I'm playing Path to Exile, so I just get some stuff of his off the board. And I'm also playing like big dudes. I've also got this 3/3 double striker, so he can't actually attack with his unruly mob either. Vigilante Justice. Whenever a human enters the battlefield under your control, deals 1 damage to a creature or player. That'd be fine if all my guys weren't more than 1 toughness. Yeah, I'm quite good at this game, really. Yeah, Battle Sliver, just make all my guys utterly ridiculously enormous. Smash. Again, you can't block anything like profitably here, so just put your guys in the bin. I think this actually kills him. Yeah. Powerful stuff going on. Didn't even get to cast my Megantic Sliver, just turn 5, guy. Although the top of my deck was pretty good to me in that game, I am going to be quite honest there. Okay, we're up against Avacyn's Glory now, which I believe is a white life gain deck, which is going to be a little bit irritating. Again, another very high card synergy deck. The deck apparently is quite fast, so he's got a lot of small guys, huh? I imagine Fiery Justice is going to be quite good in this matchup. So we have Avacyn's. So we play first. This is a pretty good hand, I'm not going to lie. We can be attacking for 12 on turn 4 with first striking guys here, and we've got a shock. So I'm going to keep that hand, and I'm going to put out my striking sliver on turn 1. Now I'm pretty sure the fully unlocked Avacyn's Glory deck is pretty powerful. However, this one isn't fully unlocked yet. Question is here, do I play my second striking sliver? And I'm going to, because I have the mirror entity. This isn't really the attack I was looking for. You know, it wasn't really the turn 2 I was looking for, but it seems to me okay, because really with a mirror entity all you want to do is just have guys on the board. I'm really good at raw dogging all 3 colours as well. Okay, he seems to be doing nothing. Cultivate's a pretty good draw, because it's going to mean that I can really go pretty nuts with this mirror entity. Okay. As you can see, he's got first strike. He picks it up off my slivers. So let's attack with everyone. And that's the end of the turn. just going to pause the recording for a sec once he's had his turn. And he makes a 2-2, so I think that that's going to get burned and he's going to get hit for 9 during my next turn. Makes sense. Okay, so let's make a forest. And let's burn his Elder Cathar. Actually, do I just be a complete Timmy here and go for the Megantic Sliver? I don't think it's necessary. So I could cast the Megantic Sliver next turn if I cast the Cultivate, but I'm not really horrifically sure it's necessary. I've got way too big of an attacking force here. See, he's on 8 already, so... and he's going to be facing 12 next turn, assuming I don't top... But yeah, that's not good enough. Not good enough. Another Megantic Sliver. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack first. Because I'm not going to kill him this turn because he's going to just chump block, so... Yep. So there's no point in me actually playing any... there's no point in me using my guy. I'm just going to cast Cultivate, which means that I am going to get a mountain and a plains. And next turn I have the Megantic Sliver online, and I also can just put 6 mana into my mirror entity should I choose, which actually would do more damage. So it's really dependent on what Sigismund does this turn. Geist-Honored Monk, huh? Again, not particularly scary under this circumstance. Geist-Honored Monk's power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures he controls, and he brings in 2 1/1 white tokens with flying. That would be fine if I weren't about to attack you for 21. Thing is, if I cast Megantic Sliver here, he still can't block with everything because I have 1 mana left out. The thing is, if I cast Megantic Sliver, these guys are only 4/4, so he could potentially just gang block my... no, he still dies if he gang blocks, so... Screw it. I know it's not the optimal play, but I'm going to play it just because I want to. And attack with everything. He can't gang block because if he does he loses, so he has to just chump block. And also he can't just put 2 guys on because if he does, first strike kills them. So yeah, he just has to chump block with everything, and he's facing down quite a large amount of damage next turn. 4, 8, 12, 18 plus a billion. Angelic Overseer. 5/3 flat. Oh, it's got its foil as well, so it has a really nice effect. That's quite cool. Being someone who hasn't paid for the foiling out of my deck. Okay, makes a land. Does he have a human? Nope, apparently not. Okay, this time I'm... Okay, so that's going to make all my guys 10/10 first strike. Seems quite powerful. Take 30, and that is going to be... Computer's really struggling at the moment. I don't know why. Oh well. We have kicked ass on this guy. So I think all that's left is the bonus Planeswalker fight. So let's just click onwards. And yep, we have the Planeswalker duel now. And we get to choose which one we're going to go up against. And Garruk has huge monsters, which might be a slight problem for me. But he has no flexibility or speed. Jace has a Merfolk deck, basically, I believe. Chandra's deck can be annoying because it'll get rid of my synergy. Ajani Goldmane has a lot of lifelink in his deck, I'm pretty sure, on Liliana's removal and stuff. I'm going to take on Garruk and we'll see how this goes.